History recognizes Isaac Newton through a highly specific public face. He is the icon of the Enlightenment, a man whose mind supposedly operated with the cold precision of a calculating machine. His defining work, the Principia, carries the official backing of the Royal Society and the signature of Samuel Pepys. It established the laws of motion and universal gravitation, requiring Newton to build an entirely new mathematical language, calculus, to prove his theories. We often lean on fables to humanize this intellectual giant, like the famous story of the falling apple. We also credit him with the invention of the cat flap, though that story actually began as a joke. His critics circulated it to suggest that a man who could map the stars was too impractical to realize a kitten could simply follow its mother through a larger hole. The records of his actual private life remained hidden until 1964, when historians finally decoded a journal written by a 19-year-old Newton. The Fitzwilliam Notebook contains a list of 57 sins. Alongside confessions of eating an apple in church, the young Newton documented violent threats against his own family, including a plan to lock his mother and stepfather inside this house and burn it to the ground. These private records reveal a volatile, moody youth, driven by deep-seated paranoia. The image of the detached rationalist was a later construction, masking a man who was deeply troubled and often isolated. Newton rests in Westminster Abbey under a monument to his scientific triumphs, but he took his most dangerous convictions to the grave. His private study of the Bible led him to reject the doctrine of the Trinity and conclude that the Catholic Church had entered a state of apostasy. He lived as a quiet heretic, knowing these views would have cost him his position at Cambridge. Newton's true intellectual passion was not physics, but alchemy. He produced over 1 million words on the subject, a body of work that dwarfs his combined output on mathematics and astronomy. He spent decades seeking the Philosopher's Stone, searching for active principles, the hidden forces God used to continuously animate and reform the cosmos. These experiments involved constant exposure to toxic heavy metals. In 1693, Newton suffered a prolonged mental breakdown, characterized by total insomnia and acute paranoia, symptoms consistent with the high levels of mercury later found in his hair samples. Newton viewed alchemy as a scientific pursuit. He believed that by mastering these chemical transformations, he was uncovering the vegetative spirits that kept the universe from being a collection of dead mechanical parts. Newton eventually left the quiet of Cambridge for the political world of London. His legislative career was remarkably silent. His only recorded contribution to a parliamentary debate was a request for an usher to close a drafty window. He found his true calling in 1696 as Warden of the Royal Mint. England's currency was in crisis because of clipping, where criminals shaved silver off the edges of hand-struck coins. Newton managed the massive task of recalling the nation's silver and replacing it with machine-struck coins featuring secure, milled edges. He became a ruthless state detective, frequenting London taverns in disguise to gather evidence. He personally interrogated forgers and built a network of informants to hunt down master counterfeiters like William Challoner. This administrative efficiency saved the English economy. Newton ruled the mint with an iron hand, ultimately sending Challoner and other rivals to the gallows for their crimes against the currency. Newton applied the same obsession for uncorrupted truth to the mint that he brought to his laboratory. He brought the coinage to a degree of exactness never seen before, viewing the security of the nation's currency as a necessary restoration of the divine order. Newton used the reflecting telescope to decode the laws of light, treating the heavens as a manuscript of divine engineering. He viewed his disciplines as a single field of study. To Newton, the mathematical harmony of planetary orbits, the chemical reactions in his lab, and the prophetic timelines of the Bible were all observations of the same uncorrupted truth. This drive to uncover hidden rules governed his entire life. It is why he famously prodded his own eye with a bodkin to study light, and why he chased counterfeiters to the gallows with the same intensity he brought to his calculations of gravity. Isaac Newton is the last of the great magicians. He spent his life hunting the hidden code of reality, applying his genius to the stars and an alchemist's furnace alike.
Welcome to Byte Tunes. To know more amazing things, please subscribe this channel.